Hi there, welcome to 90% Knitting. This is episode 353. I'm Lisa, also known as Fiber Nymph, and today is Monday, December 14th. And it is late in the afternoon again. I feel like it was late last time I recorded too. It's like 4:30, which means at some point I may end up having to get up and turn the light on because it's going to get dark in here rather abruptly. It's been a gray day all day anyhow. We got snow today, which I was not expecting. I guess I just didn't pay attention to the forecast well enough, but it's been flurrying off and on all day. We've probably got an inch of snow out there. It's not a lot of snow, but it was very beautiful as it was coming down, and the whole yard looks like a winter wonderland right now, so that's kind of nice. I did have to go out into it for a little bit today, but it wasn't bad. The roads were clear. So I have been doing Vlogmas. I think I mentioned that the last time. I mean, the last time I recorded was, the 1st of December, so I would have just started it. And I've kept up with it, so that's exciting. If you have not been watching my Vlogmas episodes, no worries. I'm going to catch you up on the highlights here today. But if you do want to watch them, they're all there. Even if you don't want to watch them like during December, they'll be there. There's a playlist. I made a playlist for Vlogmas 2020, so you can check those out. People have been enjoying them. I've been getting good feedback, so thank you so much. I will let you know that on several of the episodes, the Vlogmas days, I have shared snippets of how I dye and how I do the yarn down in the studio. So it's nothing official, but there's like a little, just a look at how each step of the process is done. And it's in no apparent order either, so you'd kind of have to pick and choose through the videos. But yeah, if you want to see that kind of thing, that's basically what my Vlogmas videos are, just little snippets of my day. Some are a little longer than others. Today, I didn't think I'd have a very long video because I'm doing this as well. But I think I've had a lot of chattiness on my Vlogmas stuff, so I will edit Vlogmas first, and then I will edit this, because I would like this podcast to be up by like tomorrow, because I'm going to be talking about the shop update, and I want to have this out so you guys have a chance to see it before the update, which is on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So that is just sort of a little jump. We'll jump to the end here for a second. If you are interested, this is going to be my last shop update of 2020. So, yeah, I'm doing a lot of restocks. I also wanted to let you know I'm going to be doing one special offer kind of thing that I've never done before in all of the almost 10 years I've been doing this. So if you're interested in finding out more about that, stick around for the shop news at the end of the episode. I'm drinking tea. This is More Plum Deluxe tea. This is the Be Well tea, but it's black tea, but I got the decaf black for this, and it's really good. I think it's just black tea and elderberries and orange. And I have been chopping up fresh ginger and putting it in my, the tea basket on top of the tea, so that when I pour the hot water in, it's the first thing that gets hit with that hot water and sort of releases its gingery essences. I've got a lot of fresh ginger right now from one of our Misfits shipments, and it's starting to get really shrivelly, so because I never froze it like everybody told me to do. So I've just been chopping it up and putting it in my tea, and it's nice because a lot of time ginger teas are really strong and bitey, and I don't like them as much, but doing it this way, it's just the right amount of ginger, and it tastes really, really good. And I figure you can use every boost to your immunity at this time of year that you can get. So, okay. I'm not wearing any knitwear that you can see. I'm wearing socks, but that's about it. Let's move into 90% here. I have not worked on anything that you have already seen in the past. Nothing. Nada. Because since the beginning of December, I have become completely obsessed with my Advent projects, my holiday countdown kind of projects. That is what I have been working on, and I've been enjoying them tremendously. If you are watching the Vlogmas videos, then what I'm going to show you now is going to be repetitive, but I wanted to share them with you because I know not everybody watches those. So let's get started. So as I talked about last time, I have several yarny advent calendars, fibery things. I'm not doing all of them right now. The one I dyed, the yarn, I have not started using that yet, but I do have plans for it. I'll talk about that in a minute. But what I am doing is I'm doing the yarny one that is the Indie Dyer swap that Marion from Marinated Yarns coordinated. I have been knitting on that one, and my main project that I started for that one was a pair of scrappy socks. So here they are so far. This is all 14 days plus a bonus stripe, because you'll see here that I totally goofed. I had opened this ball of yarn for day 10, and then I stuck it in my bag, and there were several other like leftover balls, but these are 20-gram balls. So by the time I knit 5 rounds on 2 socks, it doesn't use a lot of yarn, and so I just grabbed the ball that I thought it was for that day and I knit it. And then I realized that I had duplicated the day, whatever that day was, 7, I think. So yeah, I have 2 of those. I wasn't going to rip it out. I just left it in there, but it's sort of funny. So then I knit on this one, which see, it does have that really bright magenta fuchsia color, and that's what I was seeing in this one, so whatever. So yeah, they're coming along well. I'm really enjoying them. All of the colors I think go together pretty well. This one I would say is probably the oddest one out, but that color is sort of in here too, so it's not a big deal. But anyway, so I've got them both. I'm doing it concurrently, 2 different needles. And it's pretty much the first thing I work on every day. But besides that, like I said, I have a lot of yarn left over from those skeins, and I wanted something to do with those because I didn't want to just end up with, after these 24 days, having like more minis that I didn't know what to do with. So I decided to start a Busy Bee throw. The Busy Bee Throw is a pattern by Shayna Scott. She published it through Knit Picks, I guess. But I got it from Ravelry. And it's a hexie. It's a crocheted hexie pattern. Isn't that cool? Now, the thing is, this was done with worsted weight yarn. The pattern is written for worsted, I believe. I'm doing it with fingering weight, so my hexies are coming out much smaller than what these were. I think these were supposed to be 5-inch hexies. I'm getting about 3.25 inch hexies. So let's see, yeah. So here's what mine are looking like. And the funny thing is, this yarn is the yarn that I did that extra stripe on the socks, and I still ended up with like 6 hexies out of that. It must have been an oversized skein. It couldn't have just been 20 grams, because most of the other ones I'm getting 5 hexies. But yeah, so they're really cute. It's a granny square, except it's not a square, it's a hexagon. And I am enjoying this so much. I don't know why. I don't know what the difference is between, I mean, I like doing granny squares too, but I kind of get bored with them sometimes. These I'm not getting bored with. I'm just having so much fun, and I'm whipping them out left and right. I thought this was going to be a longer term project because I started into this, oh my gosh, I don't know. I think I had probably a week's worth of minis opened already when I started this, but no, I am tearing through them. So like, here's some hexies, and here's some hexies, and here's some hexies. Yeah, I have a lot. I have a lot of hexies crocheted already. They're amazing and so much fun. I had initially tried to calculate how big the throw would end up being, because each one of these then gets outlined. You do a border around them, and then you join them. I haven't decided what my border color is going to be, so I'm going to just do the borders on all of them very last. But even with that, I was trying to calculate how big the throw might end up being, and I totally did the math wrong, because I was thinking I was going to end up with like a 12 by 12 car cozy kind of throw, when in fact it's probably going to be closer to about, 3 feet by 4 feet maybe. Yeah, that kind of random math is hard for me. I just don't get it right. But I'm having a lot of fun with the hexies, and that's the most important. But I'm using a D hook for them. I always find D hooks to be good for doing granny type things with fingering weight yarn. And this is one of my Bags by Awesome Granny bags. Isn't it adorable? I love this. I got this a few years ago. And I have a little notions pouch with it too. And this is what I've been keeping all of the leftovers that I have yet to do. Whoops. That I have to do the hexies with. Here's my hook. So, yeah, I'm actually able to fit all the balls in here because I've been doing so many of them. It's just been a lot of fun. I love it when I find a project that I just truly enjoy. It's not like I have to race through it. It's going to be a longer term project probably by the time I piece it all together, but I'm just enjoying the process right now. So I did those, and the other thing I did with some of the leftovers is these are my only finished objects this week too, what I'm about to show you. I can't remember if I told you this last time or not, but I had decided at the very last minute, pretty much on December 1st, that I needed to give my daughter a daily advent calendar kind of thing to open every day. And so I started with giving her little gems, because we have lots of little tiny stones. My husband's really into rocks and gems, and he's just got tons and tons of that stuff around in the basement. Not just laying on the floor, but you know what I mean. He's got a lot of it. So I've been finding little cute things to give her, pretty things. And alternating that with candy, and I wood burned some little, disc token kind of things. And then I made her another spell jar necklace one day. I made one for her birthday this summer, which I showed you guys. So that was one. But then I decided I wanted to knit her some little things. And there's a running, I don't know if it's a joke, but there's a running thing with the fact that out of the 3 kids, she's the one who has the fewest Christmas tree ornaments that are hers. So I decided to make her some Christmas tree ornaments. So one day I made a little sock. And then one day I made her a little pair of mittens. Aren't they so cute? Oh my gosh. I just love them. And those 2 she's gotten already. This one she hasn't gotten. Maybe it'll be tomorrow's. It's a little hat. And the pom-pom's absolutely ridiculous. But then I just stuffed a cotton ball in there to give it some body. So these were made out of the leftovers also. So that's my knitting progress and crocheting progress. I have also spun. I've pretty much kept up with my Holiday Pops mini countdown fiber collection that I dyed this year. I did not do yesterday's or today's. Those are the only 2 that I haven't done yet. So I'll catch up with those, though. I'll just have a day where I just do extra. You can actually see my wheel sitting right there, kind of in front of the tree. I will try to put a picture in here so that you can see what the fiber actually looks like at this point. The ones I dyed up, the way it's going, both the yarn and the fibers, one day is a semitonal color and the next day is a speckled or color popped kind of color. So it alternates like that. So I'm spinning my fiber end to end on my shacked sidekick with the jumbo flyer, the big bobbin on it, and then when it's all done I will chain ply it, so I will have a nice long skein of the progression of those colors. So that's going really well. I saved one of the Polworth silk sets for me, and I'm really enjoying it. Probably because I haven't spun that much this year. It's just such a joy to be spinning. I will say though, I'm sitting at the kitchen, one of the dining room table chairs to spin, and that is not the most comfortable place for me to sit, but I don't really have too many options right now. But I have noticed it's really bothering my back, and I couldn't figure out why my back and my legs were bothering me. And at first I thought it was just because I was spinning, and I haven't been spinning. But then I realized as it kept hurting, because I figured after a few days I'd get used to it, it's still hurting, and I think it's just because of that chair. It could also be the fact that I've been sitting at that chair a lot lately because I'm doing all this crafting and I'm mostly sitting there rather than hiding out in the bedroom like I do a lot of mornings. Since our Christmas decorations are out there, I want to be out there where I can enjoy them. So I've been sitting at the dining room table a lot. It's not that our chairs are uncomfortable. I think it's just that I'm sitting up it so much that I'm not used to that. So anyway, I'm taking a little bit of spinning break for a couple of days. Let's see. Yeah, as I said before, I did not start doing my yarn minis that I dyed this year, but I do have a plan for them. I'm going to do one of two patterns, and I haven't decided which one yet. It's either going to be a, let's see, what's the name of it? The why can't I say that name? Amba O'Brien pattern called the Adventuresome Wrap. It's really pretty, and actually Carol from A Stitch in Time podcast is doing that, but she's modified it and made it narrower and is doing it as a cowl, so it'll be like an infinity scarf kind of thing because she cast on with a provisional cast on. If I do that, that's probably what I'm going to do. I am going to be a copycat and borrow Carol's idea for that and do that kind of a modification. So I'm either going to do that, or I am going to do another Shayna Scott pattern, which is the Garden of Minnie's shawl, which she just released this month. It's beautiful. I really, really like it. And I actually sort of held off starting the Adventuresome Wrap modified because I knew she was coming out with that, and I'd seen the picture of it that she had posted, and I thought, ooh, I really like that. So I wanted to hold off. I'm probably not going to start those minis, regardless of which pattern I choose, until after Christmas. Once I finish these other Advent projects, then maybe I'll do that, or maybe I'll do it as a, I don't know, like a Christmas Eve or a New Year's Eve cast on, something like that. But I'm not going to start another mini project right now. So that's where I am with all of my Advents and my tea Advent. I have not been keeping up with my tea Advent as much. I won't say I forget about it. I think about it, but I think about it at a time that I'm not like, either a place to open a tea for the day, or I'm not in the mood for tea at that point. And then when I go to have tea, I automatically gravitate towards my Plum Deluxe stash because we've got so much of it right now. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I've got a tea Advent. And so I've got a little bowl. Well, I've got all of the tea Advents that I received in a bowl. And then I've got another bowl with ones that I've opened but not used yet. Plus I've gotten some tea in the mail from people, like from things that I've ordered or whatever. They've sent tea bags. So yeah, I've got plenty of tea, lots and lots of tea going on right now, which is fine. I love tea at this time of year, and I've really been craving tea a lot lately too. All right, let's see. I'm reading my notes. Sorry. You know what? I'm going to go turn this light on now because it is starting to get dark, and I know the color is just going to go downhill really fast. So hang on a second. There we go. It's brighter. Just have more things reflecting in the windows now, but that's okay. Let's go on to 20 and 20. Just a reminder, 20 and 20 is wrapping up at the end of this month. So if you've been participating in that, yay, thank you for participating. There isn't some grand finish things up now. If you're working on things from your lists and you're trying to finish them up, trying to finish them up. What is with me in words today? I feel like I'm talking really fast. Probably because Bill is not here. He had to run to town and he wouldn't tell me what for. That could be interesting. Of course, no, never mind. I was going to say something that would sound mean, and it wasn't meant to be mean. His idea of surprising me with nice gifts in mind can sometimes be different. Like the year that I thought I was getting a serger and it turned out to be an air compressor. Yeah. Anyway, he's picking up Chinese as well. So as long as he brings Chinese home, I'll be happy because I don't know what else we were having for dinner tonight, despite the fact I went grocery shopping today. Okay, so 20 and 20 is wrapping up. And I'm not going to be doing 20 and 20 again next year. I did tell you that. In fact, I'm not going to be doing any alongs at all in the month of January. Not 20 and 20, not monthly makes. January is just going to be a reset month. I need the month off, and I think it'll be good just in the group. We're just going to relax and we're going to chill and kind of do what we want to do. I am leaning towards using my January to work on finishing up some whips that I didn't get finished this year. I used to do that. That was kind of my January tradition for a lot of years, is I used January to finish up whips. And I don't think I did that this year. But I want to do that next year because I know I have some things that I would really like to finish. And I've been hesitating on finishing some whips right now because I'm trying to take part in the Down Cellar Studio Pigskin Party, which does not give you credit for whips. That's only new things that you've started since the Pigskin Party began. So I've held off on working on some of my whips, but at this point I think it's okay. I'm gonna work on what I want to work on. I mean, I've got enough things that are whips that I have started since the Pigskin Party kicked off, quite frankly, so it's not like I can't work on those as well. But I think that's what my January is going to be. So if you have some whips that you'd like to work along with me in January, I'll start a thread for that and we can just chat, and it'll be very low-key. Or if maybe you have a special project for yourself that you want to start in January. I think I've done that before too, kind of used January as my so-called selfish knitting month. I don't like that term. You've heard me say that before. I feel like no knitting should be considered selfish. Even if it's for yourself, you deserve nice knitted things. There's no reason to consider that selfish. But yeah, it's going to be a loose month in January. And then we'll see what the rest of the year brings. I'm not planning any year-long alongs for us, as I talked about last time. The feedback I got was people mostly wanting to do shorter duration things. So we'll see what the year brings, and just kind of stay loose with it for right now. I do have something to talk about from the monthly makes program for next year, but I'll talk about that in the shop news segment of the podcast. I do have some new things I wanted to share with you, one of which just came in the mail today, and I'm so excited. It's a book, and it's called Knit Happy with Self-Striping Yarn, and it was written by Stephanie Lotvin. And you might know Stephanie's name as she's the designer of the Sock Arms sweater. She does a lot of self-striping stuff, and she approached me, oh gosh, it was probably last year around this time. It was over a year ago, wanting to know if I wanted to collaborate with her and, supply some yarn for some of her projects. And so she did end up using my yarn for one of the projects that's in this book. Let's see if I can find it real quick here. You would think I could have put a bookmark in, but no, I didn't. Here it is. This is such an interesting design. It's called the Sidelong Glance Hat. Isn't that interesting? I think that is so cool. So she used some of my cozy worsted weight, and she used the Positivity colorway, which was one of my anniversary colorways 2 years ago, along with a skein of eggplant, which is on the top. So it's so neat. I just think it's really clever. There are so many neat patterns in here, and a lot of yarn dyers whose names you'd recognize, so I would really recommend you checking this book out. It is out now. It was published earlier this month. I know I'm in contact with her about, we might be doing some sort of a drawing, so whenever I know the details of that, or a giveaway, I will definitely let you know. But I just wanted to let you know about the book right now. Isn't that is such a happy pair of mitts right there. It's like, woo! Self-stripping yarn is happy. That's why I love doing it. Okay, so that was one new thing I wanted to alert you to. The other new things are things that I actually purchased. The book was sent to me from the publisher. But here are my new things. The first new thing is, ironically enough, a skein of self-striping yarn. I don't buy self-striping yarn very often. obvious reasons why, because I diet, you know. But every once in a while I do, and I bought this because this is from Knit Spin Farm, and I love Joanna's work. But I also bought it because this is on her Tarhi fingering, and I have never dyed on this base. I know the base is out there, but I've never used it, and so I was really curious about it, and I wanted to try it out. So this is Backyard Boughs is the colorway, and it comes with the little small skein that goes with it. So it'll be a real cool pair of socks at some point. I don't know, maybe I'll do this as a Christmas Eve cast on. I haven't done an actual Christmas Eve cast on in quite a while, but it would be a nice addition to my Christmassy sock collection. I don't have a lot of Christmassy socks, like really, really Christmassy socks. I have a lot of really, really Christmassy yarn to do socks, but I haven't made the socks, so we'll see how we can grow that collection. So that is one new thing I got. And then another new thing I got is some yarn from Moonstone Dye Works, and that is by Tommy Trujillo of the Squirrel Pie Productions podcast. She's also been doing Vlogmas this year, and I've been enjoying that greatly. She had her Christmas colorways update 2 Saturdays ago now, I want to say. I think it was 2 weekends ago. I don't know. Whenever it was, I had set my alarm on my phone because I always, if there's going to be an update, I have to do that. Otherwise, I will miss it. And I know a lot of you have told me that you do that for my updates too, which is sweet. And I totally get you. I know what it's about. So anyway, I set my alarm and I totally set it wrong because I had the time difference wrong between me and her. So by the time I got there, the update had already been going on for an hour, and pretty much everything that I had been interested in was sold out except this colorway. There were 3 skeins of her colorway, which is this year's Christmas colorway called Scrooged, and she had it on her Stellina sock. There were 3 skeins left on the Stellina, which is what this is, and hers is a gold Stellina. It's really pretty. So I bought all 3 of them. I'm not usually a yarn glutton like that, but I really want to weave something using this. And I still have my 24-inch loom that I purchased last year over, I think, the Black Friday sales. I didn't get the loom and the stand until January. The stand didn't come till January. The loom, I think, came before that, but I've never assembled it, which is ridiculous. But that's one of the things I plan to do over the time I'm going to be taking off over the holidays. I would like to get my loom assembled, and then I would like to weave something using these as the weft. And then I will use either a neutral color or, yeah, I don't know. I haven't decided what I want to use as the warp. Either something I will dye. I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely want to weave with this. So that is why I purchased that. And I just like Tommy's yarn. She's got such a lovely aesthetic. If there was a weird jump right there, that's because I started to show you something that I totally already showed you in the last episode. So I'm going to cut that chunk of the video out and let us continue. One other new thing that I just got in the mail today from a lovely friend who is so sweet, and I'm not going to say who it is because I don't know if she wants me to or not, but she sent me this lovely little gift in the mail that is 2 progress keepers created by Charmed and Dangerous, which if you follow her Instagram feed, oh my gosh, the things she makes are so adorable. But anyway, she sent me these 2 progress keepers that are little tea bags. Are they not the sweetest? Oh my gosh. They're just too cute. I mean, I just love them so much. She said she sent them because they reminded her of me and Emma. So that was really sweet. So anyway, I've already thanked her, but thank you again. I know you're watching, so thank you so much. I will enjoy using those. I think that's it for 90%. 10%, this is my last working week of the year. I mean, a hardcore working week. Obviously, for the rest of the year, if orders come in, I'll be shipping orders out and everything like that. But as far as dyeing, actively dyeing, or doing any more updates or anything like that. I'm done. I'm done for the year after this update. This Wednesday, and then yeah, I'll be doing a sale at the end of the year, which I'll talk about that in the shop news segment. But I'm just looking forward to having the rest of the year kind of off and just having downtime. I have so many things that I've been wanting to do pretty much since summer and into fall that I just haven't had time to really work on. And I just want to give myself time to do that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm hopefully going to get to enjoy things that I can share with you later. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to some downtime and relaxing. And time to do the things I want to do, but also times to just not do things. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need time to like, no, I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to relax. Read. I want to read. I've got things I want to read. Things I want to listen to. Things I want to watch. Things I want to craft. Things I want to cook and bake. Speaking of cooking, I am looking for a really good source for vegetarian Instapot recipes. I do not have an Instapot yet. I might get one. I keep seeing really interesting Instapot stuff, but a lot of it is meat-oriented meals. And I don't eat meat. Emma doesn't eat meat. Bill still does, but I mean, I don't necessarily need the Instapot to make recipes for him, but I would like to find recipes that I could make for Emma and I in the Instapot, because I feel like that would make life easier at dinner time on the nights that I'm cooking for she and I, and needing to make Bill something as well that he'll eat that has meat in it. So I could focus just on his meal and ours could be cooking in the Instapot. So yeah, I've looked and I've Googled and I have found some, but if you have like any really good sound source for Instapot meals that are vegetarian friendly, and not, I know there's a lot of desserts you can make and side dishes and you can cook rice in it, and that's all great, but I'm looking more for like main dish kind of stuff. So I would love any input on that. Also, I am looking for a way to make really good broths, vegetarian friendly broths that taste like beef broth or chicken broth, but don't have any meat in them. I know that sounds weird maybe, but you know what? I have been craving the taste of meat lately. I don't want to eat meat. Like, I'm not interested in going back to eating meat, but I just want that flavor. And there's probably a name for that flavor, and I'm just not sure what it is, but that's what I want. And I'd like to be making soups right now, but I've been making my soups with vegetable broth. But I'd like to change up the flavor. So if you have any good ways to do that, I know I did Google and I found that Better Than Bouillon makes vegetarian beef and vegetarian chicken stuff. I couldn't find any of that at the store when I was shopping lately. Our specialty items are really limited up here where I shop near here. So I haven't been able to find that. I've seen recipes also that use like tamari. Also can't find that. Miso, can't find that. Which also I want to make ramen, like authentic ramen this week. Those are two, I think, ingredients that go into that. I can't find them, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. What are some substitutions for either of those things? Like, I don't know. I just don't even know what to substitute. I'm lacking in these areas. So if you can give me any heads up or any ideas on that, I would love it. Other than that, 10% is just getting ready for the holidays. I've been baking cookies, but I've just been baking them like a batch at a time, and then we eat them, and then when that batch is done, I make the next batch. I'm not baking a ton of cookies this year because I'm not making cookie trays to take to anybody. I'm going to bake a couple of like sweetbread kind of things just to take to the neighbors. But that's it. I'm not doing cookie trays, so we've been enjoying the cookies. Yeah, just, I don't know. I'm kind of stressing a little bit over gifts just because gift giving and gift buying this year is weird too, because a lot of the people I would normally be seeing, like my mom and her hubby, they're not going to be up here. I'm not even sure that my younger son is going to be here as he normally would be. We're really trying to play it safe, you know, pandemic-wise, and just not exposing ourselves to people who are not in our immediate bubble. Our bubble is essentially the three of us that live in this house. So yeah, it's weird, and some things, I mean, I know I need to mail, and I need to get some stuff in the mail like tomorrow, because I think Wednesday is actually the deadline for getting stuff mailed in time to get it, be assured to get it by the holidays. So I need to do that, but then there are some things that, like, I ordered for gifts that I ordered weeks and weeks ago, and they are not here, and some things haven't even been shipped yet from some of the places. So I know everything is behind. I know shipping is crazy. Even like orders that I've shipped to customers. I had one order going to a customer in California that I shipped on November 23rd, and she didn't get it until last week sometime. That was crazy. And even locally, some things that were just going to Pittsburgh from here, I mean, that's usually a one-day kind of thing. The packages have been making merry rounds around the state of Pennsylvania. That's been interesting. So I know the post office is just slammed right now, and, you know, it's difficult. So people will get things when they get them, I guess. But it's a little frustrating. All right. I think that's everything for the 10% part. So I'm going to move into shop news. If you aren't going to watch shop news, then thank you so much for watching so far. I am hoping to get one last podcast in before the end of the year. It'll probably be that week between Christmas and New Year's that I will do that. Just to pop in and say hi, because I obviously won't have any prize winners to announce or anything at that point. Hopefully I'll have some projects to show you, like finished objects though. So anyway, but if you are sticking around for shop news, here it comes. First of all, this is the final month in the 2020 Monthly Makes program. So if you are striving to fulfill your third quarter 300 grams, you still have a couple of weeks left to get that finished and get those things into the finished objects thread. I will announce the winners, all of the outstanding winners, in the first podcast in January. And in early January, I will also be in touch with each participant with regard to their 1% gift certificate that they earned throughout participating this year. No matter how much you participated or how little, you are earning that 1% gift certificate. So you can look forward to hearing from me for that. I will be doing a program next year. It will not be Monthly Makes as you know it now. In fact, it's not even going to be called Monthly Makes. For one thing, it's not going to be monthly all year round. It will not start before February. I'm planning right now that it will run from February through the end of November next year. So nothing in January, nothing in December. And I'm planning to have like a 4-week intermission of sorts, from the last 2 weeks of June and the first 2 weeks of July. That'll be sort of a break in the middle of the program. Sorry, I have to change my pages of notes to see what else I was writing. Yeah, it's not going to be called Monthly Makes. It's not going to be run the same as Monthly Makes has going to be run, but hopefully it's still going to be something that you'll enjoy and you'll like the benefits of. I'll have more actual details for you in January. My goal with it, though, is to make it something that will be a bit more low-key than what Monthly Makes is right now, both for your sake and for mine. I just need a little bit of a break, like I've said, of running these, you know, full-on year-long programs. But I still want to offer something as my way of thanking you guys for using the things that I make, my yarn and my fiber. And so this is my way of doing that. But I will talk more about that come January. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, Wednesday, the 16th of December, this Wednesday, is going to be my last 2020 shop update of the year. It'll be at 5 p.m. Eastern, and it's mostly going to be restocks. I am going to be restocking Sugar Plum. You can't believe how many emails I get asking, will there be more Sugar Plum? Yes, I am restocking Sugar Plum one more time. The in-stock amount will not be excessive, but there will be some. I will also be adding die to order spots for Sugar Plum that I'm going to leave open for 1 week, or until they're gone, basically, until they're all claimed. The in-stock stuff that I'm going to have in the shop means it will be ready to ship, and it's going to ship out within, the 3 business days that is my usual shipping time. It should all ship out within that time. Because of the aforementioned craziness with the Postal Service and how things are taking longer, I cannot guarantee when you will get anything from this update. I mean, I can never guarantee that, but especially right now, I can't guarantee it'll get to you by Christmas. I'd like to think it would, but I can't guarantee that. The die to order stuff, though, will definitely not ship to you until January. That will be definitely a 4 to 6 week kind of turnaround, because I'm not going to be dyeing the later part of this month. I'm taking time off. So I will not even be starting those until after January 1st. But they'll be there. If you want the colorway and you're happy to get it in January, then that option will be there for you. So that's restocks of Sugar Plum. There will also be restocks of Give Me Some Sugar Cookie. You guys really like that colorway. Thank you. Mountain House Winter, I'll have a little bit more of that. I'll have a little bit more on Frozen Pond, and I'm hoping to get a little bit more of Holly plus Pine in the shop. That's one of the ones I don't have dyed yet. I'll be dyeing it tomorrow. But it should be ready, and it should be able to be shipped out within that 3 business day period. I'm also going to have Winter's Wizards in the shop this week. That's a colorway I did that, I don't know how many years ago. I first had that in the shop, but it's my colorway that was inspired by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra light show, the light show for the song The Wizards of Winter in their live show. So it's a very, very bright 6 stripe colorway. So I'm going to have some of that in the shop. The other thing I'll have in the shop, I wasn't planning on having, but I ended up being able to do it because I had extra sets of inversibles that I didn't end up needing for some special orders. So I dyed them up in, the light's going to do weird things to this right now, but this is the Sugar Plumbed, the darker colors, so like that Merlotish color and the darker green. So that's one combo. There will be 2 sets of this, that's it. And then I did a combo with the lighter colors, that mauve and the lighter grayish green. There will be 2 sets of that. So there's only 2 sets of each of these. They were just sort of happy accidents that I got to dye them anyway, but they'll be in the shop. I may do more of these in the new year when I do another update if people like these. As long as you're happy to get them in the new year, I might do more. Let's see. So as I said, everything except the die to order Sugar Plum will be actual in-stock stuff ready to go out in a fairly timely manner. And I already told you about, shipping. I can't guarantee when you'll get it just because shipping's so crazy. The only other thing I'm offering in this update is something that I've never done before. And I'm going to try it out this time and see how it goes. I may never do it again, but we'll see. I'm doing a gift certificate special. I always have gift certificates available in the shop, and they're available in increments of $25, $50, and $100. And what I'm going to be doing, and this is going to be good for 48 hours only. So from the time the shop update starts, which is 5 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, through 5 p.m. Eastern on Friday, any gift certificate purchases that are made during those 48 hours are going to get bonus gift certificates. I'm sure you've seen this kind of thing, like restaurants do this, and different places do this kind of thing. But here's how it's going to work for me. If you buy a $25 gift certificate, you will get a $5 extra gift certificate. If it's a $50 gift certificate you purchase, you'll get a $10 extra gift certificate. And then if you get a $100 gift certificate, you'll get a $25 bonus gift certificate. Now the way this will work is when you purchase a gift certificate on my website, it's automatically generated, and it's either sent out immediately or it's sent out at the date that you request for it to be sent out. I have nothing to do with that. You set that, and then my system takes care of it. If you order a gift certificate, though, in order to get the bonus one, I am manually going to be sending those out, so those will not automatically be generated. You will get information directly from me about your bonus gift certificate with that information. Therefore, number one, it's going to go to the email address of whoever purchases the gift certificate. So if you say, tell your husband or something, hey, get me a gift certificate and we can get a bonus. If he orders it using his email address, even though he has the gift certificate sent to you, the bonus gift certificate will be sent to his email address if that's what he uses to order it. Does that make sense? He can give you the gift certificate, you can use it, but because you'll have the number and everything to use it, but it'll go to whoever's address purchases the gift certificate. And also, like I said, the bonus ones will not be automatically generated. I will be doing those, so please allow up to 24 hours for the bonus gift certificate to land in your inbox. So hopefully that will be something fun for you guys. Even if you aren't buying them for somebody else, if you know you're going to want to buy yarn, like in the new year or whatever, maybe buy yourself a gift certificate now, and then you'll have it to treat yourself with later on. Gift certificates don't expire, so they're always good. I hope you'll enjoy that. Like I said, I'm trying it, something new, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, lastly, I am going to be doing an end of the year sale. I almost always do one at the end of the year. This one will run from December 30th through January 1st. I will publish details of that closer to that time. As I said, I hope to do another podcast that week between Christmas and New Year, so I'll talk about it then. But the absolute best way to know the details of that sale will be to subscribe to the newsletter. So if you don't already get it, head over to the Fiber Nymph Dye Works website, okay, which is www.fibernymphdyworks.com. And if you look up at the very top in the menu bar that runs across the top, there's a link that says newsletter. Click on that, and you can fill out the little thing and the form, and you'll be subscribed to the newsletter. You do, I believe, have to confirm. You'll get an email to confirm that you've subscribed. At least I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I don't handle that part. My web guy does, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So just be sure to look for that so that you end up getting the newsletter. But that's definitely the best way to stay on top of anything for any of the updates. I always say that, but it really is, because I always send a newsletter for updates. I offer specials through my newsletter sometimes, just for newsletter subscribers, things like that. So yeah, I hope you will do that. Anyway, other than that, I don't have anything else. I'm going to go because my Chinese food should be coming fairly soon. And it's starting to get cold in here, and it's definitely dark now. So I hope you are having a lovely December, no matter what you are doing and what you are celebrating, if anything. I hope you're staying warm. I hope you're enjoying some tea, if you enjoy tea, or whatever hot beverage of choice, or if you're somewhere where you're in the midst of summer now, I hope you're staying cool and enjoying that. Wherever you are and whatever season it is, I hope it's a good one for you. And I will talk to you again really soon. And if I do not, well, obviously I won't be recording again before Christmas, so if you do celebrate Christmas, please have a very happy and healthy Christmas. And for those of you who are currently celebrating Hanukkah, I wish you a very happy Hanukkah as well. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.